This is the 20th of May, 2021. I've just had my 50 or 60th altercation with golfers reconnoitering my property for their golf ball. Okay, I was doing work in the living room, working on stuff on the computer, and I saw a reflection of a mirror of two golfers standing on my property line. So I immediately came out, I watched them through the kitchen, and they walked up and down my property line looking on my property for their golf ball. They weren't looking on the golf course. I immediately approached them. I said, "What are you doing looking on my property for your golf?" They go, "We ain't on your property. We are on golf course." I don't care if you're on golf course. You're looking at my property for your golf ball. Why are you doing that? All right? And I was very vocal. I always make sure the neighbors and everybody can hear when I approach a golfer. And the next thing I know, I got 4 old guys from the men's club down on that tee, and they're swearing at me. They're calling all kinds of profanity, vulgarity, whatever. And these two guys took their sweet time getting back in their golf cart to play the hole. All right? I'm sick of it. I deal with this every day. That's why I made the video. They kept it up, they kept it up, they kept it up. The dialogue went along. So I went and got my camera and I came back. And as soon as I put the camera on, there was no more vulgarity. There was no more profanity. All of a sudden, these 4 dinosaurs, these retrograde old golfers, these buckeye golfers, this is like the big game. They've never played big time golf. In big time golf, if you hit a ball in somebody's yard on a big time golf course, all right, you don't go in their yard. You don't go near their yard. I'm going to tell you again, here we go again. Same thing, those guys are putting out. But this is what I live with on a golf course daily. You see where that white stake is? That's out of bounds. This is all play area. All the way along my line is play area. All right? They don't maintain none of this. What this is forgiveness. This is so they can set up the golf course as long as they want, and they've got a bailout area. This is bailout area for those long tees. Okay? The golf course is being very in my face. In my face. You either live with this or else. If you don't like it, move. Well, this is it. I've got video. I'm going to go in and put it on YouTube right now. But I have to preface that day in and day out, I'm encumbered by being part of the golf course. Every one of those golfers feel like he did. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm up here on the golf course. The golf course goes up to your property line. So I'm not doing anything wrong if I'm standing here looking in your yard for my golf ball. What are you doing up here looking at your yard? And I've suggested to everybody, if you can't keep the ball on the green stuff from those tees, I suggest you move up. If you on a daily basis at the golf course I'm talking about, Andy, the people who set up the golf course, if you have to set up my house to be in risk of being hit by a golfer day in and day out, all new golfers, this is a skill sport. When you put somebody back there at 177 yards and you put the tee all the way back where it is now, that's about a 190 yard shot. Okay? That's a skill. You can't take the average person who's only been playing golf a few months and expect them to hit that shot when they get up and look at water. Okay? They've got so much going on in their mind right now that they can't even make the shot. But you're allowing them to sit back there with all their muscle, all their club head speed, all their youth, and take the biggest home run swing that they can make. These people do not know what a weak grip is, a strong grip, a closed stance, an open stance, an inside-out swing, a outside-in swing. They don't have a clue. And I have to deal with it. And day in and day out, this is, I made the comment yesterday, I said I-Corps. When I watched the Vietnam program by Ken Burns, I never went to Vietnam. Okay, even though I'm a Vietnam era veteran, I never went to Vietnam. I got as far as Okinawa and that was it. They shipped me to Japan. That's where my orders said I had to go, was Japan. So I never saw Vietnam until, or understood Vietnam, or understood the Vietnam experience for a lot of Marines until I started watching that Ken Burns special. Well, that Ken Burns special, they were talking about I-Corps. That's where the Marines were. The Marines didn't go to Vietnam. Most of them that were stationed in I-Corps, they were out in maneuvers, in the field all the time. They didn't have a nice hooch or a villa in Saigon with girlfriends and stuff like that. And they weren't out partying and spending American dollars. They were stuck in I-Corps, on the DMZ. And in Con Thien, the communists had bigger guns and rockets than the Marines did. They were outgunned. They were sending shells into them all the time. I'm the same way here. I hate to use that analogy, but the management of the golf course has fielded more complaints about broken windows on every hole on this course. On the front nine, they get windows broken every time the wind blows, and nothing is being done. There's no study, there's no history being kept. They don't say, maybe we could improve this, maybe we could make this safe, maybe we could get rid of this golf rash, this human factors. The human factors are, when you put that tee box there, whoever hits the ball out of bounds, it could be down 200 yards down there. The tribal knowledge is just what these fellows were doing this morning. Walk all the way up to walk directly to that border line between all the houses in the street and walk that whole distance looking at everybody's property. Sometimes it's a banquet of golf balls just laying there waiting for us to pick them up. I'm sick of it. I got post-traumatic stress disorder because I've been shelled so much here, and I've been having people walk down my property line. I watch guys that make a beeline I watch them from the kitchen. From that long tee, they'll put one like right there between my house and where the air conditioning units are, somewhere along in there in that shadow. And I watch them. I won't come out and I'll watch them. And they come up and they slam the brakes on right there. And it's an Olympic trial to get from there up to these plants. And they're looking at their golf ball the whole way. As soon as they break the crest of the hill and they see where it is, they start making a beeline. At which point I come out and I go, where are you going? And right about there, where that cactus is, they smart ass tell me, well, I'm not walking on your property. I'm still on golf course. You can't say anything to me. I'm on the golf course. I'm not out of bounds. I'm on the golf course. I didn't hit it out of bounds. I can come up here and look for it. And I saw it. As soon as I came up the hill, I saw it go in your yard. I came up here with the expectation I was just going to walk up and get that ball. Because that's tribal knowledge here with Buckeye. They've been playing it this way. They've been playing this hole that way ever since it opened. These lots up here, these people, they don't, all this glass, the people, the property is invisible. It's invisible to these morons. Okay? When they hit a ball in my private yard, they think he bought a house on a golf course. He's part of our golf course. Okay? We're going to walk up there and look for our ball and walk in his yard. Now, this is going on YouTube. It's going to be about 45 minutes long. That's okay. I'm going to do it every day. Just keep sending these morons up here and keep setting this golf course up like a bunch of morons. You know this goes on day in, day out. All right? I'm a New Yorker. Okay, I'm going to close with one last story. That time with Sergio Garcia, before they got to Bethpage black about 20 years ago. Sergio Garcia started in, I think he might have won the Players Championship down in Ponte Vedra, and they played that whole East Coast for about 6 weeks until they got the Bethpage in the U.S. Open. All right, and he was a nuisance on television. Every time they put the camera on Sergio, he'd sit and milk that club for a minute and a half. You know why? Because Sergio was, the camera loves me, I love the camera, I'm out here, I'm in contention, I'm in one of the top fives, they got to put the camera on me because I'm in contention. And they'd put the camera on, we had to agonize watching this guy re-grip, milk this club, re-grip it for a minute and a half before he pulled the trigger. Okay? Guess what happened when he got to New York on the first, at Bethpage, Long Island, on the first hole when he hit in the fairway and he started doing that? He had a bunch of New Yorkers being really rude. Now, everybody thinks I'm being rude. Well, I'm being the New Yorker on the fairway in Long Island telling Sergio, there was a chorus of fans from New York screaming at Sergio, okay? Hit the ball, stupid. Hit the ball, stupid. Quit milking the club. Come on. All right? Because the New York fans are the most knowledgeable fans on the planet. Okay? Just like I am. I know golf. This ain't golf. All right? This is an act of war that I have to deal with day in and day out. I get a daily shelling and then trespass after they hit the ball in my yard. Day in and day out. Move the tee boxes. Move the tee boxes. Okay, moron. Go ahead. Say what you said before. I got the camera running. Go ahead. Say what you said before. Go ahead. Say what you said before. Yeah? That was kind of vulgar. You don't sound like a golfer to me with that kind of language. You were swearing and being very vulgar to me. This is my property. I'm standing on my property that I pay taxes and dues on. I don't deserve this shit. You're a moron. You're right-wing Republican morons. What you are. You're morons. I'm supposed to sit here and get shelled by you assholes every day? Every day I get shelled. And then I got assholes walking in my yard after their golf balls like they own my property. Why don't I move? Why should I have to? Why don't you move? I expect the golf course to be responsible, to treat me like a neighbor. All right? I expect golfers to respect my property. You don't have any respect for private property. You're morons. You're morons. Morons. And you come swearing and walking in my yard? What right have you got to walk in my yard? There you go. Thank you. I got that on video. I got it on video. You got something to say too?
I do. I cannot work when you're young.
Oh, well, I can't work either with people hitting balls in my yard. Did you hear that? My neighbor's having trouble working. Well, I'm sitting in the house in the kitchen working, and I'm watching guys walking down my property line looking in my yard for their golf ball. All right? I can't work when I see people looking in my yard and walking in my yard. I'm making this video for YouTube. You guys are going to be nationwide. In about a half an hour, you're going to be on TV. Thank you very much. You guys should move up. If you can't keep it in play, move up. You haven't got that game in your bag anymore. You don't have that game anymore. Move up. You got to put the ball in my yard to play golf. You need to move up. I don't have to. I'm on my property. I'm on my property. You understand? You guys are antiques. You're morons, dinosaurs.